Welcome to this explainer. Picture this, right? It's a breathtaking sunrise over the vast African savanna. But we're exactly 100,000 years in the past. There's a fading campfire, you've got this cool morning mist drifting through the tall grass, and just the distant sound of birds beginning to sing. A small tribe of early humans is just starting to wake up.
Okay, let's dive into this. Think about it for a second. What if you woke up one morning exactly like this, 100 millennia ago? I mean, no smartphones buzzing by your bed, no houses with central heating, and absolutely no traditional jobs to clock into. Nothing. So, without literally any of our modern comforts or structures, what did ancient humans actually do all day long?
Section 1. Dawn of Daily Survival.
Let's move to this and see how it builds. As the very first warm rays of sunlight hit their faces, the day instantly began. And you have to understand, every single hour meant survival. We're looking at a daily routine broken down across 24 hours. You've got the sunrise fire around 6 a.m., the midday hunt and gather, evening community time at 6 p.m., and finally, that critical midnight guard. It was an incredibly structured existence, dictated totally by the sun and the environment around them.
Keeping the fire alive, well, that was an absolutely crucial morning task. Imagine the women of the tribe, their hands calloused but really careful, adding these dry sticks and kindling to the glowing embers. The smoke starts to rise, and that beautiful glow of morning sparks catches the early light. That fire, that was their heating, their kitchen, and their primary defense system, all rolled into one. And while the fire was being stoked, other vital work was already well underway. Before breakfast was even a thought, the hunters were meticulously sharpening primitive tools. We're talking repairing weapons, expertly shaping razor-sharp stone tips, and working with pieces of wood and bone. This definitely wasn't some kind of hobby. This was essential, life-saving engineering to prepare for the immense challenges of the day ahead.
Section 2. Securing the day's food.
As the morning rolled on, the hunting party would step out into that tall, rustling savanna grass. Out there, the stakes were just unimaginably high. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we compare it to today. Think about how we communicate with words on a phone screen, right? Well, when ancient humans found footprints pressed into the soft mud beside a watering hole, they read those tracks just as effortlessly and with just as much detail as you and I read a text message today. It told them exactly what animal was there, how long ago it passed by, and how fast it was moving. It's like nature's text thread. And this brings up a massive misconception about the Stone Age. While modern media constantly obsesses over the hunters, a whopping 70% of their daily calories actually came from gathered plants. We're talking berries, roots, mushrooms. The women and children foraging peacefully in the forest actually provided the vast majority of the tribe's sustained energy. Hunted meat was highly valued for sure, but it made up a much smaller 30% portion of their diet.
But when they did hunt, the process was incredibly intense. It was a rigorous 3-step process: track, conceal, strike. I mean, imagine the extreme, agonizing patience required here, hiding behind scrubby bushes, completely silent, while a herd of deer grazes literally yards away. Just one snapped twig meant total failure. The tension would just build and build until that final step. A dramatic, explosive spear throw or a successful strike meant the whole community would feast. So once the hunt or the gathering was successful, the real magic happened. The tribe would carry their haul back to camp together. They'd use those freshly sharpened stone knives to prepare the food over the fire. Now, cooking made the meat safer and a lot easier to digest, sure, but more importantly, sharing that food strengthened trust. It was literally the social glue that built these essential community bonds and kept the entire group alive and unified. Section 3. Craft, community, and danger. During the afternoon, their highly structured society really thrived. Consider how they handled what we'd call school. Knowledge was passed down through direct observation, not classrooms. Kids didn't sit at rows of desks taking notes. Instead, they learned vital, life-saving skills by intensely watching their elders. They'd observe an old woman weaving a simple grass basket, or watch a hunter expertly strike a rock to shape a new knife. Even when they were just playing with sticks and animal bones, they were actually practicing for survival.
And trust me, they needed those skills, because the afternoon was just full of constant hurdles. Finding clean flowing river water, that was a daily physical necessity. They constantly had to craft and maintain spears for protection. And the weather was a massive threat.
A sudden shift in the wind and gathering dark clouds could instantly force the entire tribe to drop whatever they were doing and rush to build temporary branch shelters just to survive the elements. And it wasn't just the sky they had to worry about. Predators were always nearby. Picture the sudden roar of a distant lion, the absolute worst kind of ancient alarm clock. In an instant, the relaxed camp would transform. Adults would immediately gather the children close to the safety and the deterrent smoke of that central fire. Danger was just a constant, unavoidable neighbor. Section 4. Nightfall. Stories and Stars. As the sunset cast this rich, brilliant orange glow over the camp, the frantic pace of survival finally starts to slow down. So the crucial point is, it's during this time that humans formed deep friendships long before cities or even villages ever existed. Around that glowing fire, you'd see people laughing, relaxing, and communicating with highly expressive gestures. This daily evening ritual was the absolute foundation of human connection as we know it today. And their evening activities were remarkably rich. They engaged in creating incredible art with natural earth pigments, some of the earliest, most profound signs of human imagination. They enjoyed their roasted meat together, bringing the whole group into harmony. And crucially, they shared stories beside the fire. These stories mesmerized the kids, but they weren't just for fun. Storytelling was the ultimate survival manual. It was how they preserved and passed down knowledge about hunting grounds, changing seasons, and those dangerous predators. As the fire burns down to a soft, warm glow, the sky transforms. Without electricity, without any city lights blocking the view, the stars became their nightly entertainment. It's just a beautifully peaceful picture. The quiet crackle of the fire, the tribe leaning back, and this brilliant, overwhelming canopy of stars slowly appearing overhead as the camp finally winds down for sleep. But as we know, survival never sleeps. Even in the dead of night, someone always stayed awake to protect the tribe. Imagine a solitary guard sitting at the edge of the camp, holding a burning torch against the absolute pitch-black darkness of the prehistoric night. It's a powerful reminder of their constant need for vigilance, right? Resting peacefully was really only possible because someone else was keeping watch. Which brings us to this incredibly powerful final thought. Let me read this quote for you. They had no technology, no modern comforts, yet every single day was filled with purpose. Without their survival skills, none of us would exist today. When you picture that tiny, vulnerable camp surrounded by an endless, unforgiving wilderness under the sweeping arch of the Milky Way, man, it really puts our modern, comfortable lives into profound perspective. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If you were dropped into the Stone Age tomorrow, what's the one modern skill you have that would actually keep you alive? If you enjoy traveling back in time and exploring this breakdown of our past, make sure to